Hey, good evening, good afternoon, good wherever you are. Thank you so much for joining me on this beautiful little Sunday morning. How is everybody doing? Hope everybody's doing well. All that good stuff. Hold on one second while I get a few things settled up. Yeah, hope everybody's doing well this Sunday. Just wanted to do a quick little Q&A video. As you can tell, I'm kind of stuffed up this Sunday morning. It's really cold here in Florida, so there's that. Just give me 1 second. I'll be right back. My nose is right place. Yeah. I'm going to be taking a few questions for the next, about 30 minutes. Hey, Jax. Dude, thank you so much. I wanted to send you a personal message, a personal video. I thank you so much for your Patreon donation. Extremely, extremely excited when I saw that. Thank you. Really, it means so much to me. Incredibly so much. I'm not going to get into the specifics as to how much you gave me, but thank you so much, really. You want to steal my Captain America Brubaker omnibuses? No. No. I paid a good amount of cash for those. Those were not exactly cheap, but they were worth the money. It was money well spent, in my opinion. Let me get my headphones in. You can tell my nose is a little red. Hope I'm not coming down with anything. That would suck. So, just a heads up, I'm gonna have dinner with my breakfast in a few minutes with my family. So I kind of just wanted to squeeze this one out because, as many of you know, I front load basically everything for the whole week on Sundays. That just makes my life a whole lot easier. And my Sundays are extremely busy because of it. So because of that, this is only going to be about 30 minutes long. I'm going to get in and out, and yeah, but I still wanted to do it just because I know some of you guys really love it. Oh, the Posehn Omni is great. It's great stuff. The Posehn Omni is great stuff. It's just the binding on it is pretty terrible. That's the only thing. So yeah, if you've got questions for me, please do so. Shoot me in the chat, and I will answer them. Like I said, I'm only going to be on a few minutes. Yeah. Hey, Fantastic Four novels. So how many here have actually seen the last Fantastic? I tried watching that shit on YouTube, and not on YouTube. Oh my gosh, on HBO, and that was terrible. I couldn't get through it. Darian Ortega, good morning, pal. Frank Brobio, what do you think of the X-Men Legacy Omni coming out? I'm gonna be picking it up. I'm definitely gonna be picking it up simply because I have a curiosity for the character. I believe that's the Legion one, if I'm not mistaken. I have a curiosity for the character of Legion. I haven't read anything, but the FX show looks incredible. So I really want to see what this character is all about. So I'm gonna be picking that up. Should I get the Deadpool Beginnings? That's totally up to you. Just know, from my understanding, the Deadpool Beginnings is like the Rob Liefeld stuff. Basically, Deadpool before he was Deadpool. A lot of people don't realize, but Deadpool wasn't always the breaking the fourth wall character. He wasn't always the character we know today. A lot of that stuff, if I'm not mistaken, we owe that to Joe Kelly. Joe Kelly was the one that said, yeah, we could do something else with this character. Because Deadpool started off as originally a Deathstroke knockoff. So if you're not into that, so if you're into Deadpool, the Deadpool we know today, you might not like the Deadpool Beginnings Omnibus. I'm passing on it
simply because we've got so many things coming out in the next few weeks. There's the Wonder Woman Absolute, the Realm of Kings Omnibus, so many things that are coming out that I'm just not going to spend money on something like that. Yeah, it was bad. Fan Four Stick was fucking terrible. That was a horrible film, and everybody should feel terrible about it. Hickman, Byrne, or Kirby's Fantastic Four. Well, Kirby laid the foundation because it was Kirby that created the characters with Stan Lee. Byrne reinvigorated and regenerated the Fantastic Four, but Hickman, to me, that his run is just incredible in the size and scale and scope and how he's able to tie everything in towards the end. So I really love Hickman's run in that sense. Hickman's run doesn't really have too many flaws for me, though I do think sometimes Hickman, not necessarily he gets stuck up his own ass, but it's like it gets too much. It's like, oh my gosh, let's get the story going. Let's keep it moving. Let's get the characters developing. It's more plot, 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 plot. And I think some of the characters, they're more mouthpieces for the plot rather than being characters. That's one of my main complaints with Hickman. But overall, Hickman's Fantastic Four run is amazing. It's amazing. So I would start with that. Let's see. How do you recommend to start collecting omnibuses? Well, you look at a favorite character you want, or a favorite writer that you have, and you pick up the omnibus. It's pretty simple. I mean, there's no set path to picking up an omnibus or anything like that. I mean, I guess with Grant Morrison, I always recommend you start with the Animal Man omnibus. We talked about that on the Omnia Bros live stream last week. That's a really good place to start if you want to start with Grant Morrison. What do I want collected into an omnibus that isn't collected? It's a really good question. I'm really surprised they haven't said anything about Scott Snyder's Batman, but technically he's still on Batman with All-Star Batman and all that stuff, so we might see that later on. Anything else that I want collected in an omnibus? Off the top of my head, not really. We seem to be getting a lot more niche stuff lately that's being collected in omnibuses. Namely, we're getting a monster bus, which I thought we would never see. Are you finally reading Batman Rebirth, or are you waiting for trades? I'm waiting for the hardcovers. I read the first few issues of Batman Rebirth, and I thought it was really good. I read the first arc, actually, of Batman Rebirth with the whole I Am Gotham thing. I thought that was good. I thought it was real good. Ex Machina or Swamp Thing? Ex Machina. Are you reading the new Hellblazer series? I am not, actually. I'm passing on the new Hellblazer series, mainly because Hellblazer to me will always be synonymous with Vertigo, and the stuff that they were doing, the Jamie Delanos, the Garth Ennises, the Warren Ellises, the Brian Ezra, those runs at Vertigo are legendary. And when Hellblazer ended at Vertigo, the series kind of died for me as well. And I was like, okay, this is a good place for me to just, John, lay him to rest. He's awesome. He's a good character. And I thought it ended, a bit ambiguously, but still, it ended very well. Your favorite of all times is 100 Bullets, and you want an omnibus out of it. I could see 100 Bullets omnibus. I could really see that. I think that would be really cool. But I could see Absolute editions before we get 100 Bullets omnibuses. I could definitely see some pretty kick-ass Absolutes out of 100 Bullets. Especially with ooh, it's really cold. With some of those deluxe edition hardcovers for 100 Bullets being out of print. Oh my gosh, it's so cold in here. Yeah, it's really cold in Florida right now. It's like in the 50s, 60s. And I know a lot of you guys are going to say fuck you because like the rest of the United States is like a winter wonderland right now. was going to get the Lanterns Omnibus, but realized that the Brightest Day Omni came earlier. So where should I start from? Where should I start it from? And what about Blackest Night? Okay, let me think here. Okay, so the first Jeff Johns Omnibus collects pretty much everything up to Sinestro Core War. The second one collects basically everything involving Blackest Night, so you're going to get those two. And then the third omnibus has pretty much the end of the run, and that includes Brightest Day. So you're going to get the first two. Then you're going to get into the third omnibus, and once you start reading the Brightest Day stuff, you're going to want to read the Brightest Day content, and then you're going to want to intermix the Brightest Day stuff with the Jeff Johns omnibus. Only 40 degrees in Daytona. Daytona, Florida? Dude, you're not that far away from me. You're wearing just a shirt. No, in fact, I do have pants on right now. I know, rare. You know, most of my time I just shoot my stuff with a shirt on. Nothing underneath. Just a little inside baseball for you guys. I'm kidding. What series would you recommend to anyone? Like it has universal appeal. Series that I would recommend to anyone that has universal appeal. All-Star Superman New Frontier. Absolutely would recommend those. I think those stories are pretty much universal in their appeal. You can't go wrong with anything like that. Let me think. Anything else? Damn. Off the top of my head, Bone. Bone would probably be something like that. Let's look at the old shelf real quick, or shelves. Crossed. Crossed has universal appeal. You can give that to anybody, yeah. Introduce Crossed to your pastor. See how they feel about that. Joking. Don't do that. Do not do that. You'll be excommunicated from the church immediately. But yeah, I would say those books, they have pretty much universal appeal. Omnibuses are costly. How many Green Lanterns can one collect? The answer is 3. 3 Green Lantern omnibuses, because that's really all you need. Dying for you to do Berserk as an addition to Manga Mondays. Berserk's going to be a long time. Because of the fact that Berserk is, a lot of it's massively out of print, and I just don't have the finances right now to try to hustle and find like 30 plus volumes of a series where some of the stuff is massively out of print and I'd have to pay so much money. I will tell you what I'm going to be covering the next 6 weeks for Manga Mondays. That's right, 6 weeks. For the next 6 weeks, I'm going to be covering Akira. And it's going to be a bit different how I'm going to do it. Every single video is going to cover a volume of Akira. And I'm not going to give the final verdict until I reach volume 6 of Akira, because this is my first time reading the series. So what you're going to get is part of the video is going to be my general impressions, and then I'm going to go into spoilers. I'm going to give you a spoiler tag and be like, all right, here's my general impressions of it. Now, spoilers. This is where we're going to get into more detail into Akira, and over the next 6 weeks, I'm going to be covering that series. So I think that's going to be a lot of fun. I think that's going to be interesting. Which Tom King books do I like more, the Omega Men or Sheriff of Babylon? Omega Men. But Omega Men is done. Sheriff of Babylon hasn't ended. How is Sleeper by Brubaker? Sleeper by Brubaker is good. Really good. Like, really, really, really good. It's set in the Wildstorm universe. You really don't need to know anything about it. But it's incredibly well done. Very well paced. Brilliantly done series. I love Sleeper. And the ending. God, the ending to Sleeper is fucked up. Like, really, really. It's one of those things where I read it and went, fuck. It's really messed up, the position that they put the main character in at the end of it. Because he gets what he wants technically at the end of the series, but it's fucked up in the way he gets it. Gary knows what I mean. He's in the chat right now. When is Criminal getting an omnibus? I wish I could tell you. I saw your review for Scalped a while back, and I bought the deluxe edition hardcovers, and I love this series so much now. Awesome, man! I'm so happy you like Scalped. Scalped is incredible. I just did my third reread of the series. I finished it probably like 2 weeks ago. Love Scalped. Oh, so good. How's that? That ending was great, right? Without giving anything away. How great was that ending? I think they nailed it. I think Jason Aaron absolutely stuck the landing on that. Do you know when the Sheriff of Babylon hardcover will be out? No, but we do know that we are getting a Sheriff of Babylon Season 2 late into 2017, if I'm not mistaken. Like, really late. I think Tom King tweeted something out about that last week or something like that, and so did Mitch Gerards, but we're not going to be getting a Season 2 of Sheriff of Babylon for a while. So you may as well just pick up the trade, because Vertigo is really... Vertigo likes to take their sweet ass time in putting trades out, which is a shame, because Sheriff of Babylon is one of the best series that I've read all year. Have you read any books by Alan Moore? Plenty. I've read Watchmen, V for Vendetta, his Swamp Thing run. Yeah, I've read a good amount of Alan Moore. Batman Omnibus by Neil Adams. Is that good enough? That depends on who you ask. If you ask me, I'm gonna say I've never read any of Neil Adams' Batman work. I know that's heresy. I've heard the recoloring that they did on the omnibus is absolutely garbage, and he kind of pulls a George Lucas on it, where he pretty much had to recolor it for no apparent reason, and a lot of fans are really pissed. They think it looks terrible. And then if you ask Jess Bragg, he'll say pretty much everything that the man does is shit, with the exception of his art. His art, according to Jess, if I'm not mistaken, don't quote me on this. Don't start messaging him. I love Jess. He hates Neil Adams' writing. He despises Neil Adams' writing. And it has to be pretty bad. Like, Jess is a pretty cool guy, and so is Riley, and all of us are pretty lenient in terms of, like, well, this is bad, but we'll give this a pass and things like that. We'll usually let things slide, but for something to be real bad, for us to hate it, it's got to be real bad. Trying to convince my girlfriend to let me put up a Darwin Cooks Parker print up in our home. This is from Stuart, Maine. Oh, don't convince her. Just do it. I'm joking. I'm totally joking. That is a real quick way for you to get that shit torn down. My biggest problem is just going out and buying frames, because frames can get kind of costly. People don't realize that for a good solid frame, that shit can run you a good amount of money. How would you rank all the comic book films of 2016? Okay. Off the top of my head, let me think. Which comic book films came out? Oh, fuck. Okay. All right, so coming in at number 1, Deadpool. I absolutely love Deadpool. I thought it was definitely a film that we needed it at the perfect time, simply because it's parodying all the other superhero tropes and superhero films that are out. Let me think. Hey, Rayleigh. Deadpool comes in at number 1. My second pick, Civil War. Third pick, what else came out this year as far as superhero films? Because this was the year kind of where superhero films are eh. Third pick, we had Batman vs Superman, we had Suicide Squad, we had X-Men Apocalypse. You know what? The last 3 are just a tie for bullshit, because I didn't really like them at all. But third pick, I'd give it to X-Men v Superman. X-Men v Superman. Holy shit. X-Men Apocalypse. Then fourth would be Batman v Superman. And dead last would be Suicide Squad by like, oh, fuck. Oh, that's right. We had Doctor Strange. Shit. Okay, first 3 in this order. First 3 in this particular order. Deadpool, Civil War, Doctor Strange. With Civil War and Doctor Strange coming really close, because I fucking love the hell out of Doctor Strange. Like, I really dug the hell out of Doctor Strange. Looking back on it, I liked it a lot. Those are my top 3. Followed by X-Men Apocalypse. And then I would do... Shit. Let me think. God, the last 2 were such pieces of shit. Batman v Superman and then Suicide Squad. And Suicide Squad can go far in the back. I fucking hated Suicide Squad. I thought that was a piece of shit. Have I read Ennis's Hitman? No. You know, I got so much shit. I've said this before, but I've got so much shit for the Suicide Squad review. Some guy sent me a death threat. Like, I will fucking come over to your house and kill you. I was like, well, okay, well, you're banned. I'd like to see you try. Like, dude, it's a fucking movie. And a shitty one at that. Favorite lock and key power key, the animal key. Love the animal key. What is my favorite Batman run? I know it's stereotypical to say the stuff that Frank Miller did. Alan Moore's Killing Joke was good. Then we've got... God, I really dug the hell out of Scott Snyder's Batman. I really did. What movie is next? Wonder Woman? I think Wonder Woman is the next comic book movie. Because originally wasn't Justice League supposed to come out in March, right? But they pushed it back to May. Yeah, I think I'm pretty sure it is Wonder Woman. I'm pretty sure Wonder Woman, or is it Guardians? Guardians of the Galaxy might come out before Wonder Woman. Let's take a look. What do you think about Sweet Tooth? Because I love this book. It's totally awesome. Funny story about that. I was actually at a house party, not really a birthday party last night. And I met this guy and he was like, dude, I like comics. I'm just starting to get into it. Have you read Sweet Tooth? I was like, Sweet Tooth is fucking awesome. Sweet Tooth is great. I love Sweet Tooth. Really great series. Jeff Lemire on writing and art. Incredibly well done. It's only 3 hardcovers long, so you don't have to spend too much money to get it, but it's still a very cohesive story. I think the ending is a bit rushed. You could tell Lemire probably had more, but he probably had money, things like that, and he couldn't finish it. Oh shit! Yeah, the next comic book movie is Logan. Oh my god, I can't wait to fucking see Logan. Bump anything else next year. Your Justice League movie, your Guardians of the Galaxy, which I'm excited for Guardians of the Galaxy too, but I'm also very cautiously excited because Guardians of the Galaxy happens to be my favorite comic book movie of all time. Love Guardians of the Galaxy, so I'm like, can they catch that lightning in a bottle again? I hope this wasn't just a one-trick shot. So I'm really cautiously excited about it. But Logan, based on that trailer, is most definitely my most excited comic book movie for next year. I really want to see where they go with that. Have you read AD? No, I'm waiting for that all to be collected in one collection. When the hell is the Akira box set going to be available? I don't know. I don't know when it is. I know it's going to retail, I think, like $200 something, something in that ballpark. It's something crazy. Like 200 something, 300 something dollars. What is my favorite Wolverine story arc? The Jason Aaron stuff is really good. Like, really, really good. Then you've got, the classic Frank Miller, Chris Claremont stuff. Then Old Man Logan. Old Man Logan happens to be my favorite Wolverine story. It saddens me how long it will take for the second Deadly Class Deluxe to come out. Yeah, somebody spoiled like major character deaths for me in the Deadly Class. Like they commented and said, "Well, I don't think this so and so character is dead, and this," and I'm like, "Thanks, jackass." Like I read that stuff in hardcovers. You didn't have to ruin that shit for me. Have I read Doctor Strange: Way of the Weird? Is it any good? I haven't read it. Thoughts on BioShock Infinite? Yeah, somebody was a real douche, and they posted in the comment. I don't know if they did it on purpose or not, but they were being a real douche about it. And they were like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe I can't believe this so and so character. I don't think they're dead." I'm like, "Thanks. That's like 4 or 5 characters that I really didn't know about the story because that's not covered in the first hardcover." Thoughts on BioShock Infinite? BioShock Infinite is one of my favorite video games of all time. I absolutely adore BioShock Infinite. And the way that they're able to tie it into BioShock 1 is really well done. I mean, yeah, some of the threads feel a little bit forcefully done. Like, well, we could probably get a connection out of that here, here, and here. We could stitch some together here. But overall, I love the BioShock series. Too much to read, so little time. If you had a free day to read, what would you read right away? Oh, man. If I had a free day to read, jeez. I would finally crack down and start reading those Uncanny X-Men omnibuses. God, I honestly, I really would love that. What you guys will start noticing is that during the summer months, during like May through August, my output as far as content and as far as reading goes up dramatically because I have more time. Because I'm off. Because, you know, as a teacher, we have the summers off, so I'm able to do more work and I'm able to read more and I'm able to do more stuff like this, which is why I love summers because my output is amazing. In fact, I see the greatest growth on this YouTube channel during the summer. So that's pretty much why I love working during the old summers. Like today, I have to do, God, today I have to do the Valiant video. Today I have to do the manga video. I have to do the news show. I have to do the weekly update. And, God, I have to do the pick of the week. Which is just 5 videos right there. That's going to take up my entire day. So you guys can see just how much output it is that I do on this channel. Whew, it's not easy sometimes. I like it though. I like doing this. It's fun. I'm not complaining by any means. I could be back working at the restaurant that I was working at as my second job rather than this. What subject do I teach? I don't have a subject per se, but I work with kids that have autism. I have the 9th through 12th, and they're self-contained, so they're with me all day. So I work with kids that have autism all day. It's fun. They're great kids. Would not change anything for the world. What are some of my favorite anime and manga? I answer this like every week. My favorite manga is always 20th Century Boys. Then Pluto. I'm reading Akira right now, and that's fucking great. Like really great. Starts off a lot slower than the anime does. Like a lot slower, but it builds up so well. Oh, she is. She's a special needs teacher. That's cool, man. That's great. It's not an easy job. I have all the respect in the world for her. Do you think they will make an Excalibur omnibus? That's more of a Riley question. Like I told you, I'm not the biggest X-Men guy. Riley is your X-Men guy. You could ask him that question, and I'm sure he would love to answer that for you. You could tweet at him. Somebody asked earlier if I've read Jeff Lemire's Old Man Logan. No, that's on my huge to read pile. Wee, it's so cold in here. Yeah, no problem, man. Yeah, tweet at Riley. You can find him under Riley Moore. I'm pretty sure he's pretty good about that stuff. He'll answer back to you. I'm new to omnibus collecting. Do you have any tips? Don't go nuts. Get stuff that you want, because it can be a little bit intimidating at first, and you're going to see a lot of stuff that you're like, oh shit, I really want this, I really want this, I really want this, I really want this. Just don't buy like 7 or 8 or 10 books, because you're not going to get to it right away. That is my biggest advice for somebody that's starting to get into it. Just ease your way into it. Don't go batshit nuts and start buying like everything you can, because the fact is you're not going to like everything you read. I've read some stuff that people recommend that I'm like, oh, okay, it's cool, it's good. But it's not mind-blowing. Do I remember my first omnibus? Yeah, actually I do. I just graduated college, and I wanted to treat myself, so I picked up the Thor Walter Simonson omnibus. Mar M, thanks for the videos. Good night, man. Yeah, buy what you know. Robert, good point. Buy what you know. Buy the authors that you know. Buy the artists that you know. Buy stuff that you'd be genuinely interested in. Like, oh, I have an interest in Deadpool. Oh, I know Greg. I know Brian Posehn from his stand-up. Okay, I'll check this out. This sounds like it'd be cool for me. And as always, you can look up your favorite reviewer for advice. Because I have a lot of videos out there, dude. I have a lot of content out. I have hours and hours of content regarding stuff you should pick up. Buy what you know. That's the best advice. That's a really good advice. Marvel's binding is better than DC. Yes and no. DC's really been stepping up their binding lately. Their stuff has been coming out and it's been really good. What is the difference between Millar's Old Man Logan and Lemire's new Old Man Logan? This is news to me. Um, huh. I really don't know because I haven't read Lemire's Old Man Logan, but I know it's a natural continuation of the series. Haven't read the Power Rangers comic. I heard it was pretty good. I haven't read the Power Rangers comic, but I've heard the same thing, that if you're a fan of the old 90s TV show, it makes it good. Oh, you're making homemade pizza. I'm so jealous of you right now. In all seriousness, I could go for a slice. I'm dying right now. I haven't had breakfast. Like, I woke up, walked the dog, came here, and started doing this. Best Superman run. What is it? All-Star Superman. What are your favorite Superman books? All-Star Superman. Superman Birthright is good. And off the top of my head, there's Max Landis. His Superman book the past year, American Superman, wasn't bad. It was pretty good. Birthright is so good. Lemire's Old Man Logan is the best book Marvel is putting out right now. Yeah, somebody actually said, I was looking at one of those top 10 lists and like for the top 10 best comic book writers for the past year, and somebody put Lemire at the top of the list. I was really surprised by that. They beat out Tom King. And I'll be completely honest, I haven't read much of Lemire's output over the past year, so I can't really speak on that, but I'm like, is Lemire's stuff really as good as Omega Men, Tom King's Batman, Vision, which is essentially on everybody's best of the year list? So I still haven't read Vision. I was this close from pulling the trigger yesterday on ordering the trade paperbacks for Vision, because I'm dying to read it. You think we're gonna get a Parker Martini reprint? I found it at 160, but I don't know. That's completely up in the air as far as that goes. I know it wouldn't surprise me if we did, but I don't think it's gonna happen anytime soon. I know Cook had a heavy hand in all the absolutes and the Martini edition, all that stuff involving Cook. He had a real heavy hand in. Like he was very hands-on with a lot of that stuff. Moon Knight is pretty good, but since Vision ended, Old Man Logan is Marvel's best. Have to check it out. Yeah, I've heard really good things about his Moon Knight run. Alright guys, I'm going to go ahead and end this. Like I said, it was only going to be a really short video. I don't really ever... Well, I sell my omnibuses sometimes, depending on if I need cash or not. I'm going to go ahead and end this video really soon, really right now, because like I said, I had to go get breakfast with my family. So thank you so much. I wanted to do this real quick. Look out for some of the other stuff. This week I've got the Irredeemable hardcover review. I've got a Valiant box unboxing. Patrons, I've got the news show that'll be going up later today. The pick of the week will be going up later today. The weekly update will be going up today. That's all Patreon stuff. So check out all that stuff. Once again, you can follow me on Facebook and Twitter. That's the best way to get a hold of me. It's in the description. And like always, if you want to help a brother out, Patreon is right there for as little as $1 a month. That's less than you would spend for a floppy. You can help support this channel and you get some exclusive cool videos. We just reached the 3rd Patreon goal, which means I have to review whatever the patrons recommend. I'm going to post a poll up for that later on this week. Thank you so much, guys. You are awesome. Have a great day. Love you. Bye.